I still feel कि अगला जन्म होए तो मैं डॉक्टर बनूं and I can serve the humanity better. मेरे को अच्छा लगता था, जैसे बसुमली कहते थे, it is obstetric is a drama. Obstetric is a, I mean something which is very interesting. मतलब डॉक्टर का relation with the patients, they should talk it out with the patients. And if a complication occurs, then I think that contact with the talking to the relations and the patient properly is very important. Attack on the doctors and many things are happening. I think we had very nice time, whatever the reason was, talking to the patients and the relationship with the patients and the way you talk did make the difference. आजकल मेरे को ज़्यादा नहीं पता है, पढ़ाना तो अपना जिम्मा ही है, जो मिल जाए पढ़ाते हैं, पेशेंट्स को पढ़ाते हैं अब. Is clinically the doctor should pay attention, lot of attention to the history. If you listen to the patient what she is saying properly for nicely how, and so then clinical examination is very important. As a clinician, your examination, sometimes in our days they used to say, use your eyes the most, then your ears, and lastly your tongue. कहाँ से शुरू करूँ?
मैडम, जब आपने BHU ज्वाइन किया, कब ज्वाइन किया?
देखो, अंग्रेजी में बोलती हूँ मैं
जी.
I did my MS obstetric gynecology in 1962. First I went to Lady Harding Medical College, and as a demonstrator I was selected there. But then in between this period, advertisement about BHU Medical College, BHU College of Medical Sciences. So I thought it would be better for me to join the BHU as a lecturer. And the atmosphere in BHU at that time was so attractive, and the entrance and all that, it just, I really liked it, and I thought कि this is the place where I can work.
आपके बारे में हम लोग सुनते हैं कि आप वुमेन ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर, करेज एंड ऑनेस्टी. तो आपको अपनी कुछ यादें डिपार्टमेंट में जब एसोसिएशन था तो क्या आपका फीलिंग था?
My relationship with the students was very cordial. I mean, we used to sit and discuss things. There were only undergraduates at that time. I think there were about 50 undergraduates at that time. मेडिकल में क्यों आए? मेडिसिन इज अ, मेरे घर में मेडिसिन was part of the family. My nana was a doctor, my father was a doctor, My maternal uncle was doctor, and so many persons in the family are doctors. So obviously children are influenced, and right from the childhood I had an ambition that I would like to be a doctor. In 1947, I was in a school presentation convent at that time, and we had to leave I was born in Rawalpindi, which is now in Pakistan, and in 1947 we had to leave that place in June, and then I studied for 1 or 2 years in Sophia Girls' School at Saharanpur, and then did high school at Ludhiana, government school, Ludhiana. After doing high school there, then my family settled at Lucknow. My father was a doctor. He settled down at Lucknow, and I studied in intermediate in Isabella Thoban IT College at Lucknow. And after that I appeared in PMT and I got selected. That's all. I joined KGMC, King George's Medical College, 1952, and did MBBS in 1957. After that, I did my house job in Queen Mary's Hospital, which was attached to KGMC in obstetrics and gynec department. And after that, after house job, internship and house job, I joined DGO, Diploma in Obstetrics and Gynecology. And 59 I did finish DGO. After that I did MS and under Dr. Engineer, AD Engineer, and Dr. Kutty, D. Kutty, and I passed MS in 1962. After that, I always wanted to work in medical college. Somehow I wanted to join right from the beginning. I liked the atmosphere in the medical college and as a teacher. So that was the reason why I joined. I wanted to join a medical college only. I didn't want to work for a government service or something like that. I came here for the interview and I was selected. So that as a lecturer, so that is how I came to
उस समय मैम कौन था? Who were else in the department when you joined in 1963? Who were else there in the department?
Department, there was one lady at that time, Lily Jacobs, who was working in the department and teaching the Ayurvedic students, and another person, Dr. Rakshit, he was from Calcutta, but since he was only a DGO, so that is how he could not continue as a lecturer there. He couldn't get the job. They were like medical officers at that time. We had an indoor, later on, indoor also we had, both OPD and indoor patients. I used to operate also at that time.
तो उस समय OT कौन सा था मैडम? Which was the OT? Operation theatre?
There was an old building. Medicine people joined. I think Dr. God was in medicine. Before I joined, Dr. N. Khanna came. Dr. N. Khanna was in surgery, and Dr. P.K. Srivastava joined in medicine. I mean, we joined around that period only.
In 1963.
In 1963, all of us. Dr. Khanna joined earlier, N. Khanna. He was professor of surgery. At that time, lecturer in surgery. Dr. P.K. Srivastava was lecturer in medicine. I had to appear in an
कौन
interview.
कौन थे मैम? Who were the persons sitting there?
One was Dr. Engineer, the other was from Delhi, Dr. Pathak, and of course Dr. Rupa was there.
Ma'am, what is your, how was your experience with Professor Rupa? You worked with him for a very long time, so how was your experience with him?
He used to appreciate my work. I mean, he was a nice character, nice person, hard working, and he wanted us to work also hard. Sometimes he used to take rounds in the night also. And the things were improved great. I mean, he did very hard, he was a very hard working person. And gradually, that is how the whole progress took place. Dr. Tiwari joined. I mean, gradually teachers were also appointed.
मैडम ये कब हुआ, किस ईयर से शुरू हुआ? पीजी स्टूडेंट कब ज्वाइन करना?
पीजी शुरू तो बाद में शुरू हुआ, but when the final year, the first batch was appearing in the final year, so the lecturers were not supposed to conduct the examination. We were not supposed to conduct. There had to be a reader or above that. So that is why the post for professor was advertised, and for the first batch, I set the paper. The theory paper was set by me, but I couldn't take their practical examination because I was a lecturer at that time. So then Professor Basu Malik from Calcutta Medical College, he joined in, I think the first batch appeared in 65.
65. Who was the dean then? Dean?
Dean Chad Nag Chaudhary.
Achha, Dr. Nag Chaudhary was the dean at that time.
I think so.
Okay. And ma'am, when was the first PG batch started?
Pardon?
PG batch. PG, postgraduate, MD students, MS students.
First batch was, I think, वो रामू से फ़ोन किया था मैंने कि भाई तुम, वो लेटर ऑन अपेयर हुआ था, पहले काम कर रहे थे ना वो अपेयर हुए थे. जैसे एक थी इंदिरा शाह, आई थिंक, शी वॉज प्रैक्टिशनर हियर, शी अपेयर्ड फॉर MS in first batch, इंदिरा शाह एंड मिसेस जैन. अब इसमें कन्फ्यूजन था हु अपेयर्ड फर्स्ट. आई थिंक सेकेंड बैच शैल दुबे, मीनाक्षी कृष्णा एंड वन मोर, हाँ रमा मिश्रा, जो जिसकी डेथ हुई ना, रमा मिश्रा, शी वॉज इन द सेकेंड बैच ऑल्सो.
डॉक्टर पीटी
एंड दैट one Shata Bhatnagar, Dr. BNS Bhatnagar's wife, and one Kumkum Agarwal. I don't know what in which year who appeared, but they were earlier, before R.A. Singh and the first batch appeared for. And Dr. Meenakshi Krishna was also working as a medical officer, and because they were not selected as a lecturer or so, because they were not MS. So when they appeared for the examination, then they became lecturers. From other medical colleges, Dr. Asha Singh joined as a lecturer. She was from Agra. Premvada Tiwari also joined.
So उस समय का मेडिकल एजुकेशन और आज का जो मेडिकल एजुकेशन आप देखते हैं, so what difference you find between?
I don't know. It was more, I think, earlier it was more of clinical work. At least my type was always clinical, bedside treating. I liked my students, undergraduates, and during the rounds I used to ask them questions. And bedside treating questions, and and more practical work. I didn't believe in many theoretical things. The method of teaching also goes on increasing. No? That is the reason. Methodology, then laparoscope came, then there was so much, advancement of education, medical education, and naturally we have to go accordingly.
What would you like to say for them? आप उनके लिए क्या बोलना चाहेंगे for residents?
अब तो मेरे को 25 साल हो गए रिटायर किए. Things must have changed tremendously. But actually, I'll tell you one thing. ये लड़कियाँ बहुत CME, they were conducting CMEs, I think thrice a week or something of that sort. Every Sunday, every Monday. So I asked some of the teachers, when do you take the class then? In our days, the postgraduates used to prepare the lectures, and we used to have seminars in the hospital premises or in the medical college. So the postgraduates used to present cases and conduct seminars. And then we used to cross question, and after that the CMEs, when they started, I used to ask them, when do you take the class then? This is what I felt. Directly, I've come to know only few days back. Patient comes, हमने CT scan करा लिया, हमको ये अब जल्दी से ठीक कर दीजिए. मतलब the patients have also changed. So I don't know how young doctors can behave in front of them.
जो मेडिकल का जो प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो है ओवरऑल कंट्री में, तो वो आपको कैसा लगता है? माने व्हाट थिंग्स यू थिंक शुड बी देयर इन द मेडिकल एजुकेशन सो दैट
आई थिंक मतलब डॉक्टर का रिलेशन विद द पेशेंट्स, they should talk it out with the patients, and if a complication occurs, then I think that contact with the talking to the relations and the patient properly is very important. Attack on the doctors and many things are happening. I think we had very nice time, whatever the reason was, talking to the patients, and the relationship with the patients and the way you talk did make the difference. आजकल मेरे को ज़्यादा नहीं पता है. नहीं, जो आजकल सुनते हैं ना, फलाने डॉक्टर को मार डाला, इसको मारा. Why is this happening too much? There is something, relationship between the doctor and the patient, something which is different.
ट्रस्ट?
वो आजकल सब अपने घर में यहाँ बन गए हैं ना डॉक्टर. वो जैसे पेशेंट्स दे कम आउट विद डिजीजेज ओनली. जो डॉक्टर ने बताना है वो उनको इंटरनेट में पता चल जाता है. तो वो अपना अब ट्रीटमेंट तो डॉक्टर दे ट्रीटमेंट भी कर ले. व्हाई दे आस्क डॉक्टर्स? एंड देन so many investigations. One thing which I find a change now is clinically the doctor should pay lot of attention to the history. If you listen to the patient what she is saying properly for nicely how. So then clinical examination is very important. As a clinician, your examination, sometimes in our days they used to say, use your eyes the most, then your ears, and lastly your tongue. use your eyes more when the patient is coming, walking. Watch how she is walking, how she is behaving. Then when she comes to you, then hear what she says. History taking, that is very important. And then you give your opinion. This sort of thing we were taught. So, if you nicely sit and patient, I think one can change things. आजकल क्या होता है, I have also seen patients like that. Headache हुआ किसी को तो सिर से पाँव तक investigations पहले कर दो. And then even patient coming from the medical college, from the college, हमने CT scan कराना है. एक स्लिप मैंने देखी, CT scan कराना है. मैंने कहा क्यों? कहता है सिर में दर्द होता है. तो सिर में दर्द तो ना सोने से भी होता है, टेंशन से भी होता है. There are so many causes, है ना. तो कुछ नहीं लिखा. No talk with the patient. Headache, complaints of headache, CT scan. This is something which I can't tolerate. One should talk to the patient nicely, and then things can be settled. That is my feeling. I don't know. अब ये इसको पता होगा.
मैडम बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं. अभी तो कम्युनिकेशन तो गैप है. जो हिस्ट्री टेकिंग है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है पेशेंट की डायग्नोसिस के लिए, और जो कि बहुत
मेरे को तो लोग कहते थे आप तो खोद के निकालती हैं उसे, क्रॉस क्वेश्चन नहीं, ऐसे क्यों हुआ, क्यों नहीं हुआ. सर मेरे सब लड़कियाँ कहती अब तो उससे खोद के निकालती हैं कंप्लेन.
हमारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन बेस्ड डायग्नोसिस हो गई है. क्लिनिकल बेस्ड डायग्नोसिस अब नहीं रही, इन्वेस्टिगेशन बेस्ड डायग्नोसिस.
ये रोबोटिक सर्जरी मेरे को अभी तक नहीं समझ आई कि व्हाट इज रोबोटिक सर्जरी. आप दूर बैठ के आप ऐसे कर रहे हैं और द अदर पर्सन इज डूइंग सर्जरी. मेरे को नहीं समझ आई आज तक.
और मैम टीचिंग के लिए, मेडिकल टीचिंग के लिए आपका कोई फिलॉसफी क्या है? मतलब हाउ शुड बी द मेडिकल टीचिंग, मेडिकल की टीचिंग कैसी होगी?
देखो हम लोग तो बोर्ड में ही सीखे और बोर्ड में ही सिखाए. उस समय ये सब थे ही नहीं इतने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. आजकल तो इतना एडवांस हो गया. अंडर ग्रेजुएट्स को तो ठीक है, किताबी थोड़ा सा बता देते हैं तो उतना ही काफ़ी है, और प्रैक्टिकल ट्रेनिंग होनी चाहिए ज़रूर. तो एक आई स्वीडन से शायद आई एक लेडी, तो उनके पास होगा वो सब अल्ट्रासाउंड वगैरह क्या करती होंगी. ओह वी नेवर टीच लाइक दिस. वो आई थी प्रेगनेंसी की, तो आई वॉज टेलिंग देम व्हाट इज़ लाइव, व्हाट इज़ प्रेजेंटेशन, वेयर इज़ द फीटल हेड एंड हाउ ना, ऑल दोज थिंग्स. पैल्पेट करके एक किसी स्टूडेंट को बोला पैल्पेट करो. अक्सर लड़के लोग करते नहीं हैं. तो कहती ओह व्हाट वी डू शश शश शश, दैट्स ऑल. तो आई थिंक नाउ द थिंग्स हैव चेंज हियर आल्सो, द सेम थिंग्स. आई डोंट, अल्ट्रासाउंड है तो और चेंज इज द लॉ ऑफ नेचर. एवरीथिंग हैज़ टू चेंज. ये भी एक चेंज है. मैं अपनी बात कर रही हूँ. कैसे?
हाउ डू यू डिफाइन लाइफ? व्हाट इज लाइफ? लाइफ के लिए आपकी क्या फिलॉसफी?
I don't know. Life, I didn't get married. I was dedicated to the life only. मेरे को कोई उसका गम नहीं है. I still feel के अगला जन्म हुए तो मैं डॉक्टर बनूं and I can serve the humanity better. I did my work. I think I have done it correctly, and I still feel कि अगला जन्म होए तो मैं फिर डॉक्टर बनूं. आई डोंट रिग्रेट. मेरे को अच्छा लगता था. जैसे बसुमली कहते थे इट इज ऑब्स्टेट्रिक इज अ ड्रामा. ऑब्स्टेट्रिक इज आई मीन समथिंग विच which is very interesting. तो that is why I said experience counts. पढ़ाना तो अपना जिम्मा ही है, जो मिल जाए पढ़ाते हैं, पेशेंट्स को पढ़ाते हैं. अब इफ द पेशेंट कम्स उसको सिखाती हूँ. यू नो जनरल बिलीफ इज ये बच्चेदानी, द होल एब्डोमेन इज बच्चेदानी. तुम लोग यहाँ दर्द होएगा ना, बच्चेदानी में दर्द हो गया है. देखते हाँ नहीं,
इनफैक्ट रेफर भी कर
उनको
देते हैं.
बताना पड़ता है कि अरे बच्चेदानी इतनी सी होती है, इतनी सी. बच्चा जब होता है तो देन इट ग्रोज, एंड व्हेन द बच्चा इज आउट देन इट बिकम्स स्मॉल.
मैडम आपकी लाइफ हम सबके लिए एक इंस्पिरेशन है. हम सब प्रे करते हैं कि
एवरी डॉक्टर्स लाइफ इज इंस्पिरेशन.
आपकी लाइफ में हैप्पीनेस और जो है गुड हेल्थ रहे. मैम आपसे हम लोग को ढेर सारी ब्लेसिंग्स चाहिए. अपना आशीर्वाद बनाए रखिएगा.
हाँ, माई ब्लेसिंग्स आर ऑलवेज विद यू ऑल. मैं तो कहती हूँ हमेशा.